Hello and welcome everybody to the official first edition of the Fanboy Fight Club podcast. Since this is our first show, let me explain a little bit of why we're here. We are five friends that have completely biased opinions. We'd love to argue about them, so we decided to put our battles out to the masses. So feel free to let us know which side you come down on. You can learn about us if you visit our webpage, fanboyfightclub.com. But since this is our first show, we would like to introduce ourselves. So for those of you who will hopefully listen to this can get to know us. My name is Jason. I will ref most of these matches, but I won't be afraid to throw in my opinion as well. So how about we hear from the man with a huge Nathan Drake boner right now?
Isn't that
Isn't
all
that
of
everyone?
us?
Yeah.
I mean,
All right. Well,
More specifically, I'm assuming
I
me.
mean, Noah North's voice. I mean,
Well, my name is Jarmar. I have an allegiance to Apple and all things Ninja Turtle. I will be defending PlayStation until I die as well. That's pretty much it for me right now.
all right. So how about the man who is obsessed with Dick Grayson? That is.
well, I mean, my name is Michael, and obviously it's all about the dick, and including all the Grayson. And I guess I really don't give a shit about Apple, so I'll throw that out there. Um, and I'm pretty sure everybody in this group will stick with PlayStation till they die, except for maybe Jake because he has this delusion that PC is better. But we can move on from that.
Let's not piss off the PC fanboys in episode 1, okay?
And
Yeah,
there's
it's
that
not.
for our audience. Thanks, Mike. All right, so how about we hear from the man with the bun then to defend his PC?
Hey now. All right. So PC is. You know what? Everybody knows how great it is already, so I'll just get into it. I'm Jake. I like everything weird. I'm kind of the oddball specialist out here, so if it's unique and different, I probably know about it. Some might say that's a hipster, especially Mike, because he's a dick. So, but we covered his love of
You're
dick
a
already.
hipster, so.
So, yeah, that's it for me.
And to round it out, we have the ultimate barista.
Fuck you! Shit.
That's his
Hi,
favorite
I'm Wes.
of all time.
I do not have a Nathan Drake boner. I just have a regular boner right now. So luckily the video's not on. I am a store manager at Starbucks. Thanks for bringing that up, dickhead.
So you manage
Fuck.
hipsters like Jake.
Yeah, so I help hipsters like Jake all day. I've seen so many man puns, I want to fucking puke. I
But none as luscious as
Also-
mine.
have an allegiance to Apple. I like Apple, fuck Microsoft, and I love Ninja Turtles and everything about comic books.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. So for our inaugural show, I want to use that word since Mike loves it. We thought we'd like to discuss the summer movie blockbusters and just kind of, hopefully, if this podcast continues, maybe making an annual thing. But just kind of go over what's going to be appearing on the big screen this summer and kind of talk about what we like, what we don't like, and what we think is going to be awesome and what we think is going to suck, the new Ghostbusters, and kind of go from there. So I guess the first topic would be which movie are you looking forward to the most and why?
Ooh, who wants to go first? Also, before we go, you've used hopefully this does well.
Right? I love the confidence in our.
Yeah, so thank you,
I know
Jason.
the original first show failed terribly.
I wrote first annual, because I have confidence it'll be a second annual. So
Don't ask him to spell it.
Yeah.
I can't spell it.
We'll use a bunch of numbers and abbreviations. Like a teen girl.
Dyslexia hasn't been kind to me. Okay, all right. Can we just move on from that?
Ouch.
Okay. So, who wants to go first and share their most excited movie?
Well, I guess I'll go. No one else is speaking up. Fuckers. I'm excited for two movies. the first one is obviously Turtles Out of the Shadows. I mean, come on. The movie looks fucking incredible. Every single time they release a new trailer or teaser, it looks even better. So I'm excited for that. And the second one is an odd one. It's a curveball, but it's called Don't Breathe. And it's from the guy who directed the Evil Dead remake, and it's getting crazy reviews, and I'm so excited for that movie. It comes out in August.
Sounds cool. Sounds cool. Well, as the second Turtle resident fan, I just have to throw that in there. Out of Shadows was, of course, number one on my list. Second to that, I did. I guess this is not weird for my personality, but Jason Bourne. I'm super excited for that series to kind of come back, and Matt Damon's is in it again, and I just loved it. Jeremy Renner.
Wait, what's his name?
Matt Damon. You heard the S at the end, but yeah. The Matt Damon.
There's two of them in this one, actually. They cloned him, and he's fighting himself at the end. It's kind of like the Scott Pilgrim.
Spoilers.
I've never seen any of those movies.
Oh, great.
Really?
The Bourne series is...
The original one.
They're solid, and a lot of people got confused. They're like, oh, yeah, Matt Damon's back playing Bourne. Jeremy Renner never played Bourne. He just played someone that was in the same program. Like, I love that people get upset. They're like, so glad they're going back to Matt Damon. Well, he never really didn't play Bourne.
That shows you how many people actually saw the Jeremy Renner version of that movie.
I mean,
and it wasn't awful. That was the thing. Like, it was fairly solid.
And they had that video game out too.
They just started watching it, and they're like, "Wait, why isn't this guy using a bow and arrow? I'm confused."
That's a solid point out, though, Jason. That game was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It really, it was.
I mean, considering it was an early PS3 game.
Yeah. I also had 3 on my list, so another movie I'm excited for. And it's not necessarily because I love, I know we have a resident DC fan here, but Suicide Squad I'm really excited about just to see, the new Joker, I guess, or the story path, or how they're going with that. So that's my main second. That's it.
Hey guys, do you remember when they first released the photo of Jared Leto with all the tattoos, and then they're like, no, it's just for the anniversary, because everyone got mad, and then look, he's full of tattoos. Yeah, right. Thanks for lying to us, jackasses.
But now he looks so fantastic, everyone doesn't care.
Until he takes his shirt off. Like, he looks good in the purple trench coat and everything like that. But when you have 2 different tattoos that are just ha 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 in 2 different spots of your body, you're not some psychotic madman. You're just an idiot.
So
it's just a juggalo gone wrong.
I thought about that. My theory, I guess I don't want to go too deep in this. I'm sure we'll have a podcast about this later. But my theory is not necessarily if it goes the path that I kind of read about and kind of expect. I kind of think that someone else may have put those tattoos on him. Maybe he didn't necessarily want those. So
I think he looks so fucking stupid. I understand having tattoos and shit, but he's a Joker. First off, he probably got those tattoos from some random guy in a needle. Now he probably has Joker AIDS. But I really don't.
When Gordon, does the dirty, she gets super fucked. That's why they had to take her out of the movie.
Oh, the fucking teeth! The teeth drive me nuts. Every time I see them, I'm like, oh god, I hate them. I hate them so much.
See, I guess I don't know.
It doesn't bother me because I imagine it's just because Batman knocked his teeth in, so he's got caps.
So, you being the DC guy, did you read the theories about Jason Todd being?
Yeah, I read that the theory is that Jason kills him and becomes the Joker and goes crazy, and that's why he's ha ha ha, jokes on you.
Right, so if he's been tortured and maybe his teeth were pulled out and things like that, so it could be a darker reason of why he looks this way. That's kind of why I don't want to judge it, and again, that's why I'm excited about it, just because it's something new.
I thought that'd be cool, but if they go and make it Jason Todd, it would take a little bit away from it. Just because it wouldn't have that same, it would be a cool aspect, don't get me wrong, but the Joker-Batman relationship goes so deep down the rabbit hole that I feel like it would take away from that just to do a different take on it.
I kind of feel like they have to do a different take. Again,
Tell you what,
that's why I'm
that
excited.
Ballroom Blitz trailer is fucking
Oh, God.
amazing.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
so good.
100%
trailer-
better than the Queen trailer. Like I'm just
Oh my
gonna
god, the
throw that
Queen
out
trailer
there.
was terrible. And I love Queen. I love the band Queen, but that trailer sucked.
Yeah, they caught so much shit for using that song, and it's right. Like they should not have used that song for that type of trailer and the mood that they tried to set for it. But Blitzkrieg, or yeah, the other one was way better.
So yeah, those were my three most excited films for the summer.
All right. Well, well, Jake, you haven't given yours yet?
No, I have not. There's actually a couple that I'm really. I was honestly super looking forward to Civil War, which I saw the night it came out, so it was amazing. We'll wait a little while before we really get too far into that, but ones I'm really looking forward to. One's a little bit later in the summer. It's actually called Kubo and the Two Strings. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's Leica Films, which I love everything they've done so far. It's all stop motion stuff. It's the same people who made Paranorman and Box Trolls and Coraline, so they have a great they have a great track record. And this one, just every single image I see from it is absolutely beautiful. So I'm super looking forward to that one. The other one I'm kind of looking forward to is actually kind of a weird thriller movie called Lights Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Teresa Palmer's in it, so I'm kind of already sold on it because she's super hot. She was the chick in Warm Bodies, so I'm kind of already sold on that. But a kind of a different premise, and I'm all up for the cheap horror movie kind of stuff going on. And I have to say it because I know it's going to start some shit. I'm actually looking forward to the Warcraft movie. Everyone else here seems to think it looks terrible, but
I won't say that, but
let me throw it out there. So the problem when Avatar came out was everyone was like, "Oh, it's just pretty. Like it just looks pretty. There's no substance to it. It's just a rehash of Pocahontas slash Fern Gully slash all that shit." Well, you take high-end visuals like something like Avatar and you put in the backstory that they have with Warcraft, and oh my god, it's going to blow people's minds. Like I don't think they haven't done a good job explaining what the actual story is beyond just like orcs versus humans fighting, but like all of the political intrigue that goes on between both factions in this, all the backstabbing, all the crazy twists and everything like that. Oh my god, it's going to be fan fucking tastic. And it's Duncan Jones, which I mean, with a dad like David Bowie, he can't really ever do anything wrong. I mean, he did Moon, which was fucking fantastic, and he's going to nail Warcraft. He's going to knock it out of the park.
Yep. Moon's amazing, and I also loved source code until the end, and I was like, "What the fuck?" But Warcraft, I just think it doesn't even look pretty. I think it looks like shit. Like they announced that movie, they were going to make the movie like 10 years ago, and I was like, "Damn, 10 years." That movie's going to look amazing, and I kept hearing, this movie looks incredible. Duncan Jones talking about it, other people talking about it. And then the trailer came out, and I went, ew.
Was it the first
That looks like
trailer?
a fucking video game.
Because the first trailer,
that scene looks pretty bad. You're pretty badass.
yeah, the very first trailer they released, and if you watch that one and then you watch like the second one, you can tell they maybe listened to people and totally cleaned up like the background environments, because that was what people complained a lot. They're like, oh, what the like you can tell it's like gross green screen like in the background. Like the one shot in particular is the Alliance people in front of the castle, and everyone said the castle looked like shit. Well, they went back and in the next trailer they show that same scene and it looks 100 times better. Like, so I think the stuff they're showing in the trailers is not their best, but any of the cinematic stuff from the Warcraft games are top notch. So if they even come close to looking like that, which they probably will, it'll set a new bar for special effects for sure.
I think the only acceptable way for this movie to end, though, is for it to just, like, after all the fighting's over and everything, it cuts to a fat dude in his mom's basement in his underwear covered in Cheetos. Just like,
That is
finally, it's over.
Yeah, but you have to realize it's not World of Warcraft the movie. It's Warcraft, so it's based on the first game, Warcraft, like the RTS from back in the day. This takes place in, that time frame. So everything that happens in World of Warcraft, you wouldn't have the fat Dorito kid. I mean, maybe But
the Cheetos.
really,
Get it right.
you're probably more likely to have like a skinny Korean kid being really good at the game online. Like,
I'm pretty sure Mike has a list of people he wants to piss off. He's like, okay, first off, the PC nerds, check mark. Okay, fat Warcraft guys, check mark. Okay, let's get on the
All
list.
potential viewers.
Personally, for me personally, I never really gave a shit about the game, so I'm not gonna give a shit about the movie. I really have no desire to see it. And for everybody listening, Jake is definitely our resident movie trailer critic. Every moment of every movie trailer that comes out. So if you wanna
The
if you want a
pacing
good
was off
review
in
of
the
a
trailer.
movie trailer, email Jake.
Yeah, don't cut your trailers wonky. Don't do any weird music to them. Don't if you do anything that is like off the wall and not normal, he will
I
have
swear
a
to God,
shit.
if you show too many funny parts in a trailer, you're
Ah.
going to lose me. Like,
So as a side note, I do think trailers ruin comedy movies. Like one of the movies on my list is Neighbors 2, and I feel like they're showing all of the scenes that would make me piss my pants laughing.
see,
Right.
I would agree if it was Neighbors 1 and I hadn't seen what they did with the movie before. Because I felt like they did that with the first one. I was like, oh, I'm going to go see this movie, but I probably already saw all the funny parts. And then you didn't see
Yeah,
anything in the trailer. So
Yeah.
I'm holding out hope for that one.
I
The
hope
other
so.
comedy,
I sure hope so.
IGN just said they just released a review saying it's funnier than the first one.
Yeah, I read that.
I'm kind of excited because that chick from Kick-Ass is in it, and she's funny and like I don't know, I think she'd be.
she
kinda good
killed
in
it.
the
She
role.
killed it in 30 Rock. Like,
Yeah.
she has great comedic timing. But speaking of comedies and trailers and stuff, Sausage Party. Holy
Dude,
shit.
Something about that.
See, I didn't add that one because it comes out a little bit later, so I
Yeah.
figured that wasn't
It's
summer
still the
movie.
summer time frame.
Also, then if that's the case, I just want to throw in Snowden. I'm pretty excited about that. That comes
Is
out.
that one about
September.
someone getting like snowed in their house or what?
We still
No, Edward Snowden.
Bad pun.
Isn't that
Oh.
a sex movie?
No, it's
That
just
where you-
one of the most
Isn't that Jarmar where
important
you blow in her
person
mouth? Makes out
in
with
like
you?
our generation at this point, but that's all good. So
Well, I watched the trailer. Joseph Gordon-Levitt his voice sounds so weird. He's such a great actor, but
Since when did
He
Joseph
is.
Gordon-Levitt become the chameleon of freaking movies? Like, they made him look like
Dude,
Bruce Willis.
Walk.
They made him look like the dude from Walk. They're going to make him look like Snowden. Like,
Yeah.
holy crap. Like, this dude, you can just
Yeah.
morph him into anybody.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm super
Yeah, he
sad that
playing
he
like-
walked away from the Sandman movie. So pissed.
yeah.
So who's up next? Mike?
Mike,
I think I'm the only one left.
Yeah.
You
I
and
mean, number one on the list is Suicide Squad. Just looks so good, and I can't wait to see what they have planned for the Batman villain lineup. 'Cause it will definitely open a lot of doors, especially being they're doing like Killer Croc and like characters that you never see. Second on the list is Turtles because it looks amazing. First one was okay, but this one just looks like they just took everything that was iffy about the last one and completely redid it, and it looks amazing. After that, as much as this is gonna piss off Jason, I'm excited for Ghostbusters, and mostly just because that new theme is just so sexy. It does things to me.
No, let's be honest. You're just saying this because you know that we're all about to go off for the next 30 minutes talking about how much shit this
We do
movie
have
will be.
the biggest bomb section, I believe, coming up.
I mean, come on, what more do you need than Chris Hemsworth making a logo and being like, "Oh, are the boobs too small? I can make them bigger."
Well, he's not gonna.
I don't know, somebody that's actually funny in the movie? That would be nice.
That's completely like that. I mean, that's what made. But that's exactly the opposite type of humor that made the first one awesome. Like the original Ghostbusters had intellectual humor. Like that's not intellectual. That's not that funny.
Well, the problem is, in the 30 years that it's taken to make another one, Americans have gotten dumber, so they have to kind of accommodate that.
Like I think that's one of the things I loved about like the original ones is that I loved them as I was a kid when I was a kid because of just the kind of the ghosts and the everything about it, and I love the cartoons and stuff like that. So the movies always were awesome to me, but as I got older I appreciated them on a different level because I understood more. Like I got the Dr. Bateman jokes and stuff like that.
You got the ghost blowjob, which I totally didn't catch as a kid.
I totally did not get that.
If you did, that would have been pretty bad.
But I got that. But I picked that up as an adult. So it's like you see it through these different generations, and then you pick up little things here and there. And you're like, oh, okay. So I don't feel like the new one coming out will have anything like that. So that's why
and
No,
the
it's
thing
slapstick.
yeah, well, the thing is, like, there was bodily humor in the first one, like when they're covered in slime and they make jokes like that. And then there was also times where it is a little bit slapsticky, but it's not reliant on it. It's not Melissa McCarthy who's overweight falling over. You know what I mean? Like they're laughing because she's fat. Like that's the problem. Like you're not laughing at Dan Aykroyd because he's a heavier guy. Like you're laughing at him because he's funny. Like look at this.
Fall down for like the 80th time.
God, right? Like I guarantee you this movie will have a part. This movie will have a part in it where she tries to jump over a fence or something and she won't be able to.
It's going to be the Echo.
I feel like it needs Kevin James in it to get like smacked into something and super CGI.
Do you know, the thing that drives me nuts about this movie is actually not even the movie itself, but it's the director, Paul Feig. Like, I liked him. I think he's made some really good films, but he's been a twat waffle through this entire process.
Oh yeah, he says he calling anybody who doesn't like the movie assholes. Like come on, like you're gonna have people that criticize shit before it comes out because, like, when one of your actresses, Melissa McCarthy, says she was confused by the trailer, you can't call everyone else assholes for also being confused by the trailers. I mean, right in the trailer it says 30 years ago this happened, but then they play it off in the movie like they don't know what happened because it's a reboot. It's not a sequel. So nothing happened 30 years ago, but the trailer brings attention to another movie that happened 30 years ago. You're like, why'd you cut it like this? Why are you so retarded?
Like in the same universe or?
No, it's not. It's totally different. They don't know about the original Ghostbusters. There was no Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. There was no like Crisis in New York. Like nothing. It was like this is the team rediscovering ghosts exist and dealing with the very first ghosts in New York. Like,
I've also heard that the logo is the big bad guy at the end, like Stay Puft, and that's gonna piss me the fuck off. I don't want to be the goddamn logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would just ruin it, like the logo for me.
I mean, I'm still going to see it regardless, and I mean, I guess that kind of leads me into. I mean, I'm not that excited for it, but I'm going to see it. But I am super excited for Turtles. I'm really excited for Suicide Squad. Speaking of tattoos, I think Margot Robbie's where it says "Lucky Guy" right above her pelvic area is the best tattoo in that movie, and I can't wait to see it. But anyway.
Yes, we know you have a big thing for her.
Hilarious! I didn't even know there's a tattoo there.
Oh really?
How many times did you pause that?
Did you forget when he decided to like share that picture and then?
Like I have a keen eye for stuff like that. But anyway.
Yeah, we bet.
Something like being at work and going, "Oh shit, thanks for these guys."
Yeah. So basically that we've kind of gotten into Ghostbusters, but I guess which movies like out of the list, like especially like the blockbusters, like the bigger list, which ones do you think are gonna bomb?
Well, that was actually my number one.
X-Men: Age of Apocalypse.
Oh yeah. No, that's one I didn't get a chance to even talk about. That was my favorite, Age of Apocalypse.
Is that what you're looking forward to?
A week ago, I would not have said that, but this week, oh man, it's not looking good. Like,
see, the problem is you read into the reviews and then you go into it expecting it to be shit.
Right.
That's why I don't read that shit, because it's pointless. It just ruins the movie for you.
No, or it warns you and you're not super fucking
it
disappointed.
It doesn't, though, because if you go in with an open mind expecting to enjoy the movie, there's a more likely chance of you enjoying it, rather than going in thinking, man, this movie's got to be shit, and then you just spend the entire time looking for things wrong with it.
I'd rather be pleasantly surprised than disappointed. So if I go in thinking it's shit and it's not, then I'm pleasantly surprised, and I'd rather be that than like, oh.
But we all know you enough to know that you're going to be nitpicking the fuck out of the movie the entire time instead of actually watching it. You're like, oh, no, they jump cut there. Oh, nope, that scene's a little different than the scene before it.
This isn't what it was in the trailers.
I'm just going. I am so
they
looking
changed your eye
forward to
color.
I'm looking forward to Nightcrawler, like hardcore. Like you don't even know how much I want to see Nightcrawler in this movie.
Oh,
But
I do. I remember back when X2 came out, you were super excited, and then they made him a little bitch.
that
right?
was
So
really
fucking
weird.
pissed.
He did cry the entire movie.
And that's like one of my favorite as well. Are we getting Gambit at all in this, or?
No.
No.
Because they keep pushing back the Gambit movie because
Well,
they
that's
have no
good
idea what they're
because
doing. Because everyone's like, oh no, Channing Tatum, and I'm just like, if nothing else, he at least has like the look that he can fit it. I just don't know if he has the acting ability to pull off Gambit.
Right.
So is this
Guys,
all,
I have the bombs of all bombs for summer.
All right.
You ready for
God.
this? It stars Kevin Spacey and Jennifer Garner, and it's called 9 Lives. You heard of it?
When he's a cat.
He turns into a fucking cat.
Well, kind of fair for that to be a
He turns
bomb.
into a
I did
goddamn
not
cat.
hear about this movie.
Doesn't it have to be somewhat like plausible to be successful to be a bomb? Like
That's
Here's
kind of
the
like
point there. I mean,
I mean, you got a point, yeah. You're right. Ben-Hur, then.
My runner-up, I put Warcraft, and not because of any of the things that you guys got already mentioned. It's just because I feel like it's just going to have the continuous curse of, oh, that was a game, and now it's a movie. So like,
That's true. Movie
it just
adaptation.
push off like so much, even though it could be great. I just think that alone is what's gonna kill it like in themselves.
speaking of video game movies, has anyone seen the new screenshots from Assassin's Creed?
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
No.
God.
not looking forward to that either. I'm sorry, but
What? It looks cool.
we'll see.
It's Michael Fassbender, man. Like you got to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Right?
I
He's
will.
so amazing.
And I will
He
say,
did do an amazing job at Steve Jobs, so there goes my Apple reference for the podcast.
Oh God. I had to bring it back to good old. I mean,
Yeah.
Steve Jobs was the one good thing about Apple, sadly.
I mean, that was this whole thing.
and I will say the way that the Assassin's Creed games go and the way that they're written almost plays out kind of like a movie. So like I can see how like that could be an adaptation that actually works.
But we
But
say this all the
I'll believe
time.
it when I see it. Like especially with like everything that they put in it. Like they go back to the Renaissance in one, and they go back to the middle, like Jerusalem, things like that. Like there's different storylines that they can take with that and actually make a decent movie out of it, as long as they don't try to do all of it at once.
So here's the thing. This is the problem. It's if they could do that, if they can come up with these cool stories, then why even make it an Assassin's Creed movie? Like, just name it something else. Like, taking the name Assassin's Creed is like trying to pull in that audience, people who play the game. We partly are going to pick it apart, and then other
But
people
we're
are
not-
going to be like,
we're
I don't
not going
care.
to though because
They wanted the money
games
from it. Like
had like 3 good games and the rest sucked. So we're gonna be like, oh, it can't be any worse than the last 4 Assassin's Creeds that no one's played.
Hey, Black Flag was good. I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
But-
That was the worst one of them all.
It really was.
It's because you
I got
hated the
stuck-
boat
I
stuff.
got
I
stuck at-
fucking loved the boat stuff.
Hey, let's
on
take a
boat
game
mission,
that's
I never beat
transversal
it.
and get on a boat. Remember this cool parkour system that we have? It's on a boat now.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Dude, if I could parkour with a boat and just like be leaping over other boats and shit, I would have been more interested in Black Flag.
I mean, the boat stuff was okay for like the first.
The
couple
what
times
stuff?
you did it, like the boat stuff.
Oh, okay. I was
when you like when you board another ship and like you're burning it down, like that's cool like the first couple times you do it, but then after that it just gets tedious and boring. And,
Yeah.
That's every Assassin's Creed though. Like, oh, let me
Right,
solve this
that's one
fucking
of the-
murder mystery.
Yeah, but-
Oh,
but
let me
that's-
fucking
that's-
collect all these flags. Like, there's always
That's
something.
tedious. That's
Those
tedious
are a
and
little
boring.
easier tedious rather than
Yeah.
having to fucking board a ship.
Right? Yeah, it's just
Or let's
it's
go
just too
whaling.
much. It's too much time. It's too time consuming.
yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that you have
What
to
a-
upgrade the ship just to beat.
Oh yeah,
something
that was another thing.
fallen, like,
I
got
quit the
stuck.
game because of that.
Me too. Never finished it.
All right, so hang on.
What do you
Going back
think
to X-Men just for a second.
Yeah,
What do you
question.
guys think about them just announcing that Wolverine 3 is going to be rated R? You think it's just because
Oh.
Deadpool did well, or do you think it's like,
Yeah,
oh, they're actually doing a
100%
legit
because of Deadpool.
storyline?
If that's the case, that's awesome. That's
So are
totally-
I
Are
don't think
they
it's
rebooting-
Deadpool, actually.
Are they rebooting Wolverine or is it still Hugh Jackman?
This will be the last Hugh
Hugh
Jackman one.
This is the last one.
So he's gonna be in Apocalypse then.
For a cameo, that's
Yeah,
about it.
not like
Okay. Because I thought
storyline.
I guess I was mistaken. I thought Apocalypse was more of a prequel, I guess, or like a.
Well, it is.
They rebooted the entire universe with the last movie with Days of Future Past. So they
Okay.
kind of opened up the doors for them to do whatever the hell they want,
Gotcha.
instead of having to worry, because they wanted to tie it in with the original shitty trilogy, but they also wanted to rewrite it so people would be like, "Oh, thank you for getting rid of the shitty original trilogy."
They
The
also
continuity of the goddamn movies is so confusing.
just said that the next one after Apocalypse will take place in the 90s.
Oh my god.
I mean, at least they're going a different decade each
Hey,
time.
Glow.
Dude, I'm just saying, I think the movie's gonna be fun, and it could be because like waking up in the morning, getting ready for school, and hearing like that badass theme song. That's
right.
Like, I'm gonna love anything they fucking do just because of that alone. I'm gonna be there opening night for sure.
I hope it doesn't suck, but the X-Men series is so fucking hit and miss with me. The best film was First Class. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's
close to First Class.
I actually
I just
really
think
liked
how-
parts of Days of Future Past. Like, parts of it were super solid.
Like, I walked out of it and I was like, that was a pretty good film. And then I slept on it and I slept on it and I was like, oh fuck, that movie sucked.
It's just so strange to me, though. Again, could be my childhood bias, but I feel like the X-Men like universe, I guess, is what I want to say, is like the characters are so much better than like Marvel or DC to me, and I just don't understand how they just can't make like great.
You realize the X-Men is Marvel, right?
Right, but what I'm saying as far as like
He's talking about like the MCU and the
I'm talking about the
DCU.
cinematic universe.
Oh, okay, all right.
So,
I was like,
you have,
yeah.
Ant-Man, all those things. It's like those characters to me are only appealing because those movies are good. Whereas like these characters, like Gambit, Nightcrawler, like Magneto, like Wolverine, all these characters, they are just like iconic to me. I don't understand how their movies just aren't more appealing.
I'm not
they're
gonna
finally
lie, I
starting to
want the
fix
movie
some
to
of it.
bomb.
What?
I want it to bomb.
Why?
Really, really bad. Because I'd love for their fucking series, the bombs. That way they go crawling back to Marvel like Sony did. And then we can all have this fucking happy universe of all the characters. That's all I want.
But as much as that'd be amazing, Sony didn't really go crying to Marvel. Marvel like sought out because they wanted Spider-Man for the Avengers.
And
They were so
let's be honest.
mad at the second movie.
Oh, let's be honest. And we just dropped someone. All right, I'm sure he'll get back in. So let's be honest. If it bombs and it goes to Marvel, the thing that's going to happen is they're all just going to die in Infinity Wars.
Yeah.
Like they're just cannon fodder.
Mike got so mad.
That would
suck.
I know they didn't have to go back to Marvel. Like Sony or Spider-Man's not back at Marvel. He's still at Sony. It's just Marvel's fucking around with Spider-Man, which is great. This is the best Spider-Man that they've came out with. That was in Civil War. It was fucking amazing.
Agree. Totally agree.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I'm telling you, like if they get pulled into the MCU, all the X-Men are just cannon fodder. Like so, like they need characters in the MCU right now to be able to kill them. That's the whole reason they're making their rosters so big right now.
I'd be okay with that too, because no one died in Civil War, and I really wanted someone to die.
Whoa, spoilers.
Yeah, you have to remember Jason hasn't seen it.
No, I have not. Thanks, appreciate
Jason doesn't give a shit.
Someone may or may not die.
it.
Jason doesn't give a shit.
I would have so badly.
You should probably turn your mic up just a little bit, Jason.
Yeah, since I've had trouble hearing you for the past like half hour.
Thanks for telling me now.
Well, I didn't want to make it unprofessional and like say, "Hey, Jason, your mic skills suck." Well, the whole like 5 people are listening.
No, I mean it's not awful. It's not awful.
So we have this GroupMe thing that we can text each other in.
Yeah, well, you know what? I didn't want to get out of the app because it already crashed on me once, and I had to reopen it. So I didn't want to get out of the app to tell you your mic sucks.
The people who are wondering, Mike is recording it from his phone.
I'm not really recording it. I'm just, here
He's
from my
calling
phone.
in. He's calling in.
What's a
from his
call?
phone.
What do you call from your phone?
This is 2016. No one
So
calls
is there
from a phone.
anything else out there you guys think will bomb other than maybe X-Men, and we all feel like
I think-
Ghostbusters probably will.
I think Star Trek Beyond.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
that has
amazing.
dangerous
Whoa, whoa,
potential
whoa.
to bomb. Dangerous
That
potential
is
to
like
bomb.
my sleeper, honestly,
The
just
Star
because I
Trek
feel like.
movies have always kind of done well, though. I mean, they've always been decent movies.
Ah,
But
this
after
But
one's
the
in
what
last
such
what have you
one,
heard about
trouble,
this
though.
one? It's coming
I'm
out
not
in the
gonna start
summer, and there's literally been like one trailer,
That's
and nobody even knows
that's
what it's about.
that's
Like,
good.
And that trailer was hated.
Just
Everybody hated
let
that
it be.
fucking trailer.
Let it be. Let it be. You got Justin Lin, fucking Fast and Furious
What are you,
director.
Paul
Lin come
McCartney?
over. That's gonna be awesome. Just let it be.
Let it be. Let it
I
be.
just
yeah,
prefer no
let's
one
have.
talks about
Oh
it.
man,
I think a
Uh,
sleeper is gonna be Independence Day. Like I think that's gonna make more money than
I agree with you. I
dude, their
actually that was
marketing
on
is
my
on
sleeper list.
point for Independence Day. They
That's why I
just
couldn't put
released
that as
something that's
sleeper.
like so reminiscent of Starship Troopers, like the join now for more
Oh,
information, and like, oh, it's so good. And then they released a like video thing where they just took shots from Independence Day and like put a terrible 1990s filter over it and added the date so it looked like it was all home movie footage. Oh, dude, it's like awful but awesome, like all rolled into one. Like they know the cheeseball factor that they're going for, and if
yeah.
they nail it just right, oh, it'll be a sleeper hit for sure.
I feel like Will Smith is gonna regret not signing on to
Wait.
do
So
the movie.
so since you brought up Will Smith, because obviously that's a huge elephant in the room. I saw the
What?
last trailer and
why the fuck is he an elephant in the room?
because that's obviously everyone's gonna be watching the movie and think like, "Where's Will Smith?" That's
Right.
just obvious. But the other guy in the movie, is that supposed to be his son?
Yeah, it's
Well,
his son.
the kid
Yeah.
So
actually
that's the
his son.
kid then? No, because it said father or something like that in the trailer. I was watching. I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, because
That
he's
just
dead now. Will Smith's character is dead, and his son is now a fighter pilot or something like that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
Will Smith actually said that he does. He regrets not doing it, and once he found out his character got killed.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of fucked up, man. But
Well, I heard he didn't want to make any more sci-fi movies after Earth was so horrible. So,
yeah,
but
It's because he tried to put his fucking kid in it.
Independence Day put him on the map, though.
and he
Like
was
that
trying to
movie
push
was
his
one of
Scientology.
was
Whoa,
one of
whoa,
the
whoa.
biggest movies.
Maybe movie map.
Well, yeah, I Fresh Prince. I mean, the Fresh Prince of
Yeah,
Bel Air.
Fresh Prince and
As an actor,
That was his biggest. That was his biggest role to date. With that, I mean, that's what made him a $1 million Hollywood star. That movie. So, I mean, what else was he in before that? That was that huge of a hit.
I don't know. I just want to live in the '90s again because you're right. Like '90s is where he like really blew up. Because after Fresh Prince was Independence Day, and then after Independence Day was Men in Black, and it was like
Oh my god!
there was him,
Bad Boys.
and then there was Jim Carrey as well. And
Yeah.
the '90s was amazing.
Oh, so let's bring up the other elephant in the room, shall we? Since you did mention Men in Black. Men
oh
in
god, I was
Black
about to say.
with the
Oh,
21
the
Jump
crossover.
Street
Yeah.
crossover movie that's happening.
Uh,
Like, that has so much potential to be the worst thing ever committed to film, or knock all of us over
That's-
with how amazing it's going to be.
I
Like,
feel like it's
I
gonna be
think it'll
great
be
because
funny.
of that.
Yeah, they're fucking hilarious. And put them around like weird weapons and aliens. I think it'll be really
Oh
funny.
yeah, because I mean, you gotta guess that the storyline is going to be them being selected to try out for the Men in Black, and that just,
Yeah.
oh man, and you know they're going to have so many jokes about the current celebrities being aliens and shit. Oh man, and
Hopefully
I'll
there's
be
no, like,
honest, the last Men in Black movie wasn't horrible. You know, like I actually
not at all.
I really
It was
liked Jermaine Clement as the monster dude. Right? What wasn't his name, like Monster or something in there? But yeah, like the villain, he did solid in that, and Josh Brolin, and it was actually really good.
I thought it was really sad too.
Right, a little bit fucked up.
Oh yeah.
I forgot to mention a movie earlier when I talk about the movies I'm most excited for this year, but I'm really excited for The Nice Guys.
Yeah, that
Yes.
kind of just came out of nowhere to me, at least.
It
It's like
literally came out of nowhere. It looks so
What?
fucking funny.
that one was kind of on my sleeper list. Like it's one that isn't really getting a whole lot of. They're starting to shoot trailers on it now, but I mean it does look entertaining. I mean,
It's Shane Black. I love Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I don't like Iron Man 3, but Lethal Weapon, like he's made some great films.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kiss,
And Russell Crowe actually seems kind of funny in it. Who would have thought?
He has a personality.
Yeah. Are you not entertained? Um, other honorable mentions, I guess, since we're kind of bringing up some other stuff that we had on there outside of sleepers. Um, this is pretty cheesy and it probably will bomb, but Pop Star with Addie Samberg. I just feel like that's gonna be one of those stupid funny movies.
Yeah.
I'm kind
I
of
think
excited to
he's
see
trying too hard to be the next Will Ferrell.
that.
I wanna see it, but it's opening up against Ninja Turtles, and because it's trying to grab that money, I'm gonna say fuck that movie, and I'll download it for free.
Does
I'll-
anybody actually watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Like, everyone tells me it's funny, but I can't get into
I've
it.
watched it. I watched the first season. It was funny.
yeah,
I caught an episode here and there. I've never really sat down and watched it.
it's funny, but I kind of fell off of it as well.
Yeah, I never really got into it.
I think we covered like most of the sleepers, but I guess like what do you think is gonna steal the show? What's gonna be the best movie this summer? Like, I mean, as far as like it's something that you might kind of, we've kind of touched on a little bit, but I mean, what's something that maybe, it's I don't know. I guess what's gonna be better than all the rest? Independence Day we talked about possibly could steal the show. Maybe the Jason Bourne movie, like the Suicide Squad, TMNT, we all think is gonna be amazing. So we can't we really can't say those, but maybe something outside of those, if anything.
Out of Shadows.
I say the
Yeah, How
the
to Shadows.
movie, the movie that's gonna make the most money is easily gonna be Civil War. That movie's gonna push probably over 400 million domestic, over $1 billion worldwide. But Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, there's just.
We're all in agreement, so I think.
I think it's with the actual TV.
I mean,
like the
money-wise,
cartoon
I don't see
series,
Turtles
think
doing
it's okay.
that
No.
great though.
No way.
Because of the last one, in fact, it's still Michael Bay. People are still not going to go see it.
So this one will make a lot of money. The last one made what, 65 million on its opening weekend, right?
I don't know. I don't fucking keep track of that shit. The only time I do is when I
I know we
decide
got at
to
least
tell you guys that
$20
Civil War
for me.
didn't beat, or just barely beat Batman Superman opening night. Because everyone's like, oh, Batman Superman sucks. Wah. It's you.
It's gonna pass it by. It's gonna pass it by a week and a half, and it'll be already made more money than it.
Yeah, but like we talked about in the other podcast we did that never aired because technical difficulties, because technology's hard, Marvel movies are like iPhones. People go every single time, no matter what it is. It could be Captain America S, and it could just be another washout villain, and people go still see it.
And
I don't know,
DCs
dude.
are like Windows phones, like they never get it right.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that was sick.
Well, and I think the thing, like, you say that everyone goes to Marvel movies, and I might be kind of shooting myself in the foot on this, but I love Doctor Strange, comic book wise. I'm scared to shit of that movie. I think it looks good, but I don't know how many people are actually going to go see it. Like,
It's not reaching people because Sarah thinks it looks like shit, so it's not reaching that.
It looks
public,
weird. I don't know. It look. I feel like they're gonna release some more trailers. They're gonna show the more fun side of it, like some of the stills they've released of like him running through the street. I just think the first like couple they've done so far are just to establish like, he was in a car accident and he's a surgeon. Now his hands are all like not steady, so he goes into the Himalayas because that's what you do when you're a surgeon. You can't surgeon things.
well,
And
that's not really why, but like, he tries
That's what you
all
get
these
from the
different
trailer.
treatments. Well, yeah, but he tries everything, and he's going to, try everything literally. So he goes to like this mystical healing place, and that's when he meets the Ancient One, who's a Celtic woman now instead of an old racist stereotype for an Asian man. And
Wait, the new Asian man / Asian woman is just white ladies now. That's just how it is.
is that the world now?
Yeah, it's like, should we cast the Asian person? No, let's just get a white lady.
Okay. I could really go off on this, but if you're referencing Scarlett Johansson as Major from Ghost in the Shell, she is fucking perfect casting for that. I don't care who you are. Like, everyone's bitching about it not being an Asian character, but if you look at the way that it is drawn, and even interviews with the guy who drew it, he didn't draw her as Asian. Like, it takes place there, but it's at a point where everything has become homogenized to like and there's such a mixture of Western and Eastern culture that's what it is. She's somewhere in between. She's not one too much, or she's not, anything.
Hey,
So
you could fucking cast Scarlett Johansson as a fucking black man, and I will love that.
She'll be in Tropic Thunder too.
Yes. You can play the documentary of my life, and I'll be completely content.
Would you touch yourself?
I would touch myself to myself. It would make it all the better.
in Jarmar's life story, we're going to cast Scarlett Johansson as Jarmar.
That's like the inception of jacking off. Like, what?
That would be amazing.
He'd be using his PlayStation VR to watch it.
Yeah, back to the Turtles thing. It made $65 million opening weekend, 493 worldwide. I think this one will break 70 million a weekend and will break 500 million worldwide if it's good.
I think
I-
you're right about that.
I honestly think every single Arrow fan is going to go see this movie, and they might not have seen the first one. I mean,
Yeah, all
casting
16.
Stephen Amell was brilliant on them.
Yeah.
I'm the odd man out here, but am I the one person not excited about that casting just because of the way they did zero effort into his character design?
I completely agree with you. I feel like that's the
Like-
shittiest thing. It's like,
Everything
hey,
I've
just show
seen,
up.
comics, cartoons, everything. Casey Jones always had at least medium length hair, if not long hair. And they're like, oh, those wigs you wore and all those shitty flashbacks for Arrow that everyone's tired of on your 4th season. Why don't we just eliminate the idea of you wearing a wig and we'll just have you just show up and put on a hockey mask and throw a stick around for a while, maybe hit a dude with a puck. We'll call you Casey Jones.
Also, he's 40.
I think you're missing. I think you're missing the point of them casting it. I'm saying it's brilliant
40?
because they're bringing in money with him. I don't
Oh, yeah,
necessarily
I'm
think
aware.
the characterization is perfect, but casting him in that is perfect.
No, trust me, I'm fully aware of that. I'm just saying in general, I'm just that's the one thing I don't like about it. I think I was super excited when he got cast, and then when he had zero effort put into his character design, I was just like, oh, well, this was a fucking waste. This was almost borderline as bad as Megan Fox as April O'Neil. I'm like, there's no point.
Sarah wants to go on our podcast and rant how terrible of casting Megan Fox is for 2 hours straight.
I still think she's better than Stephen Amell. I'm sorry.
Well,
I like him.
this is-
It's just
She's easier to
no
look at.
effort. It's just makes no sense to me. I don't know.
And there's a multiverse with the Ninja Turtles. If you've seen the the animated movie that came out on TV, there's so many different universes with them. This is just another one. So Casey Jones looks different in this one. Big fucking deal.
Yeah, but at the
That
same
would be-
time, that's just no.
You're
That
just
would-
mad.
no.
You guys are just
It's
mad because Arrow is starting to suck. That's all it is.
It's still better than last season.
Oh God.
Dude, I couldn't even get to the last episode. I just turned it off.
I know I talked to you guys about this already, but that inner light, man, oh, it's killing me. It's killing me hard.
I'm gonna
They
take.
should have just brought back Constantine and had him help beat him and call it a day instead of all of a sudden trying to turn Ollie into fucking Doctor Strange and have him fight magic with magic. Or brought in Green Lantern or something. Anything.
Made me fall asleep. I'm sorry. I just want to point this out real quick. We do have a new follower, Italian Guy 08. I'm sure this could be just possibly a throwaway account, but if it's an
No,
actual
he's
person,
talking to us, man.
it's
He's
cool.
talking to us.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, welcome, Italian guy. Right?
Hopefully, we did not scare you away.
Well, he's talking
he's
to
good.
me.
He's
I
good.
mean, I'm smart enough to have the dashboard open so I can talk to him. But
I don't know how to do that,
that's just
honestly.
me. Well,
That's
because you're on your
exactly
fucking
what-
phone.
I'm sure there's a way.
Let's switch
Try
gears
to
here.
do
Let's
that
get back,
split
let's get back
screen
on
on
topic.
that.
I got one more
know-
question when it comes to some
Well,
movies.
one more thing about Ninja Turtles, please.
Okay.
I
All right.
just want to say,
Ninja Turtles is fine. Let's not go off and start talking about Arrow because this is not the summer Arrow.
No, not about Arrow. Not about Arrow.
you're right. Fuck Arrow. Okay, back to Ninja Turtles. Is anyone else hoping that Tyler Perry turns into Medea at one point in the movie?
Only if he's Medea Fly. because,
Only only if he gets touched by the ooze and then he transforms into.
Turns into Medea. If that
I really hope
happens,
it's
I will stand up and clap.
and starts people.
Start slapping the.
Dude, I really hope it's Seamus that's playing one of them, right? I hope he does. a good
He's
job.
rock steady.
I thought it was Bebop.
No, he's Rocksteady.
He's Rocksteady.
Bebop is that.
No, Rocksteady is
Yeah,
the big
it is.
black guy.
What's
No, Rocksteady is the Rhino, which is Seamus.
Oh,
The black guy has the
Seamus
purple
was-
mohawk.
Yeah, Bebop is
okay.
the purple
That's
mohawk
correct.
warhog.
Yeah.
Well,
Little
dude,
piggy,
Seamus
as
has
he
a
calls
mohawk,
himself.
too.
Yeah, I'm a little piggy.
Yeah.
I'm a little piggy.
I'm pumped for Seamus in the movie.
That may be the best part of the trailer so far.
Yeah. my
Oh
favorite.
yeah, hands down.
All right. So
What's this top secret question?
the
we have
last
here?
question I have. I mean, it's is what it is. We're all excited for Suicide Squad, but given the success of Deadpool, do you think that Suicide Squad should have received the rated R rating? And because it didn't, do you think that's going to hurt the quality of the movie a little bit?
No.
Not really. I feel like Deadpool had to be rated R because of the character himself. That character is so out there and outrageous with just the content in general that PG would have killed that movie. Where Suicide Squad isn't quite as outrageous. They still are kind of the bad guys, and they're making jokes and all that and doing shitty stuff, but they're not at that same level as Deadpool. Like Deadpool, there's an entire panel where he's flying through space with his two little henchmen, and one of them says he likes the prequel, so he shoots him in the head, and he points his gun at the other one and tells him to say Jar Jar Binks is an abomination. I mean, he's just too outrageous for PG-13.
Well, and I don't know that DC needs an R rating, and hear me out for this. For things like The Killing Joke, absolutely you need an R rating.
Oh yeah.
For their DC universe, I don't think that R rating anything R would be beneficial to them in any way, shape, or form, because they do need to aim for as many people as they can. If Batman vs Superman was a theoretical,
They've talked about doing the sequel to this rated R though.
no, that would be so dumb of them because they're going to instantly get people cut out from it. Like
But
they're
think of it
not
this
necessarily
way.
aiming for
Deadpool was
kids,
pretty
but
successful.
kids go see their movies.
People said the same thing about Deadpool though. That not as many people would see it because it's rated R.
No, but people know about Deadpool being rated R. Like they know about his outrageousness. If you make Batman vs Superman fighting each other and you make it rated R, you're just going to confuse people.
Oh, I understand Batman versus Superman, but Suicide Squad is a movie of villains. Like these are hardened criminals. You would think that they would maybe go for something a little bit more edgy.
Yeah, but they're Batman criminals. I mean, no offense, but if The Dark Knight wasn't rated R, then nothing's
Right.
going to be rated
That's what I
R
was gonna say.
in the DC universe.
I mean, I agree. I'm all for making all of these fucking superhero movies rated R, just because
Oh yeah.
I feel like it would be more grounded and realistic. And I mean, to be honest, most comics are pretty dark and shit, so why not make movies? But
And if you walk into
It's all
any
about
comic book
money.
shop where they're talking about these movies, and they talk about how great Deadpool was because it didn't have all the restrictions that PG-13 has, everyone's fine with it. The only thing you're alienating is they can't take little Jimmy to see it, and frankly,
Right.
I don't give a shit about him. He can
But that's
go
money.
and bootleg
that's
it online.
money that DC desperately needs to go to their movies.
well, I agree.
I don't agree. If it fits, I think it's perfect. Like Deadpool, it fits perfect. Wolverine, it fits. He needs to fucking use his claws and rip people apart. I want to see that shit. Some movies it doesn't fit. Like Avengers doesn't need to be rated R.
Well, yeah,
No,
and
that's
that's
not-
all I'm saying is,
definitely not.
but none of their movies that they have slated out right now fit that rated R. None of even Suicide Squad, it's not. It's been animated. There's an animated Suicide Squad movie. You can't. Sure, you could make it rated R, but you don't have to. It doesn't. It doesn't fit
that
the
animated
characters to be.
Suicide Squad movie kind of pushed it. I mean, there was a handful of times where you borderline saw animated boobs all over the place, and then there's a scene where Harley's banging Deadshot, and she yells Yahtzee when she
Yeah, and that's
gets off,
exactly
and
what
it's
Suicide Squad movie is going to do. It's going to push that PG-13, but they don't need to make it rated R.
Oh yeah, I agree. They don't need
I don't
to.
know.
I'm just
I-
saying that
I
it's
turn
not
that
necessarily a
shit off.
bad thing.
I definitely think there's a difference between whether they need to do it or if it could be. I mean, every time you go see a movie that's PG-13, a lot of times I'm sure they could have made the movie or there's a cut with the rated R rating, but I feel like having rated R, they have more freedom to express however they want to. Not necessarily
Well,
need to, but it just
And I think
Well, think about this. Think about this, right? Go ahead, Jason. Go ahead.
I was just saying that, and that's kind of my point with this movie because I feel like they could maybe take some more liberties and some more freedom by having it maybe be a little bit more violent, a little bit more edgy, by pushing that envelope rather than just maybe holding back. Like I feel like maybe they're not going to get their point across as well because it's almost going to be like, oh yeah, we got these villains, but maybe they're not going to be quite as violent, quite as edgy because we have to make it PG-13.
It's all about the money, man.
Can I just pause the fight to say I'm pretty sure this question completely stemmed from Jason wishing it was rated R so he could see Margaret Robbie's boobs all over Suicide Squad.
But you don't
think about
need,
it this way, right?
dude. Just go watch Wolf of Wall Street again, like there.
That's
Pause it, throw on your VR headset, and go to town.
It honestly had nothing to do with that. It is more.
We saw the way you stared at that screenshot of her in the trailer.
But think about Batman vs Superman, right? Already didn't make enough money as it is. Now imagine if it was R-rated. How much would have been taken away from the total it's at now?
Yeah, it's going to be a 3-hour nap. That's what's going to happen.
It still wasn't a kids movie by any means.
I wouldn't take my kid, even though it was PG-13. I wouldn't take my kid to see Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't give a shit. I saw kids at Deadpool that were like 5, 6 years old.
Right.
Parents like that.
Parents like that are going to take their kids no matter what.
Right, no matter what.
Not making money because of that, I don't buy it because parents are going to. Their parents are going to buy their kids Grand Theft Auto because they're just like, hey, mom, I want Grand Theft Auto. I mean, that's pointless. There are horrible parents out there. They're going to let their kids do and see whatever they want. But it's just,
that's the one person pisses people off.
I would shave $80 million off the total. It would have made $80 million less.
I don't think so.
I get the point. I guess I'm arguing my standpoint of what I prefer as being an adult.
I don't know.
Fucking movies that are PG-13.
If the R-rated cut that's about to be on the Blu-ray was the theatrical release, I think it would have made even less, just due to the fact that people would see the runtime and be like, "What the fuck?"
Oh boy, extra half hour. I mean, considering that the fact that they had to cut it up so much is what screwed the movie over. I'm pretty sure that, if anything, it probably would have gotten better reviews and people would have been happier with it.
But see, you're saying that they would have seen the original time and then been like, oh, it's only another half an hour. But that's not what would have happened. They would have released that as their original timeline. And people would have been like, why the fuck are Batman and Superman fighting for 181 minutes for? Like, there's a difference between knowing what the normal cut is versus the R-rated cut, and then not knowing, and then all of a sudden getting the runtime for an R-rated cut. Like, I think that would have hurt them. If they made
I don't know
a
anyone
2.5 hour
who looks at the runtime to begin with, let alone says, "Oh, it's too long. I'm not going to go see it."
Jake,
I'm 82 years old and I have to go to bed at 10 o'clock after Jeopardy. So I can't stay up for 3 hours.
They wouldn't have had to look up.
I look.
They wouldn't have had to look up the time frame. It would have been all over. All of those reviews would have been like, Jesus Christ, this is a 3-hour nap waiting to happen. It wasn't. It wouldn't have been them necessarily having to look it up. It would have been people talking about how fucking long this movie was. Have you ever watched Titanic? I've never watched it all the way through, but I know it's a long fucking movie. Like,
I didn't go see Tarantino's new film because I'm like, what the fuck am I going to get 3 hours to sit in a movie theater for?
When I went to see Django, I thought it ended like 6 times.
I still haven't seen Hateful Eight. He's my favorite director. I still haven't seen, what's that Matthew McConaughey one with fucking Nolan? I haven't seen
Oh my
that
god,
movie either.
Stellar. That is probably one of the greatest sci-fi movies I've seen.
no,
So
barf,
Crazy.
barf.
Gosh. Oh my god.
So bad.
In the Space Odyssey. But anyways, I got a good resolution for this. How about they just stop making movies and just put them on Netflix? Because
There
they
you
make
go.
it whatever they want, and then it could be like 35 episodes and an hour and a half each. It'd be awesome.
Wasn't someone just complaining about having too many episodes to watch?
I
Yeah.
don't want fucking 25 episodes in a season. Fuck that.
Oh man, definitely.
There's something to be said about going to see a movie in a theater though on a big screen.
Nah.
The production value of movies is always so much better anyway. Like, don't get me wrong, the Netflix series have been amazing, but compared to like a full movie and the production value you get from that, it's not the same.
Yeah, but I mean, if the paradigm shift and it was Netflix is where the place was to go, or just digital, then
Well,
you
plus
wouldn't
you'd
have.
never actually finish any of it because you'd be too busy Netflix and chilling all the time, and you'd like miss half the seasons.
Well, that is also a plus. You can't do that.
You'd have to go take a shower in between,
Just
and then you'd be like, oh, let me take an hour and a half shower. Mike.
and then be late for a podcast.
I was not late. We agreed at midnight, and I showed up like right after midnight compared to Jake, who was like 15 minutes late tonight when we had a set time.
We're talking about the first run. The first run.
I'm talking about the first run too.
The first fail.
Is it really Netflix and chill if you're stressed out about how to get the bra off with one hand?
Wait. Excuse me. You're doing it wrong. If she's wearing a bra while you're watching
So
Netflix
since
at home,
we
it's
have
already messed up.
Completely gone off
He has a
topic
point
once
there.
again. Let's move on to our new segment. Well, the one that we tried on the failed podcast, but didn't end up happening. But so before we close this out, we thought it'd be fun for one of us to come up with like a short story for Jarmar to read, which I think Wes came up with a story this time. And this
I
is
just sent it.
This is going to be a segment that we call Jamar's Reading Corner. So, Wes, do you want to set up the story at all, or do you just want Jarmar to go ahead and read it?
Jamar, go ahead and read. I just sent it.
Oh god.
Don't read ahead. Just read.
This is gonna be fantastic. I can't wait.
Mind you, this is about as long as the director or theatrical cut of Batman vs Superman.
It's not.
Strap in, kid. It's gonna be a fun one.
I'm totally joking. Okay. Who knew? Oh my god, I can't even do this. But who knew when you died, pieces of you still worked? I always heard when you die, your brain can still function for a little bit, like a chicken with its head cut off. But I have no idea what else worked. I found out what else functions the day that I died. I woke up surrounded by dirt. In a panic, I started to dig. After what seemed like hours, I finally dug out of the ground. As I stood and realized something. I had a massive zombie boner. Who knew?
How does that even work?
Who knew? You gotta listen. You'll find out here. Who knew a cock could get rock hard after death? But there I was, hard zombie dick swinging about. Oh my god. I figured zombies would instantly think about eating brains first, but all I could think about was rubbing one out. I grabbed my dropping man meat and exposed it to the cold brisk air. I closed my dead soulless eyes and started to think of more hard dicks. Out of nowhere, a graveyard cat jumped up and latched onto my cock and ripped it off. There I was, a soulless, now dickless zombie. I chased after that cat until I realized it took chunks out of my gross zombie dick. Little did that cat know, I was HIV positive when I died, so now that cat will die a slow, painful death, riddled with AIDS. Fuck that cat. Fuck
Zombie
cats in
AIDS.
general. I'll just rip a finger off and shove it up my asshole as I use it as a book plate. As I devour children's brains.
Wow.
Yeah, and
That was a great first
Oh my god, that was
Oh my
amazing.
god.
Great
I don't know how I'm gonna beat that.
All right.
Oh
So
my
first of all, on behalf of us all, I want to personally thank anyone who took the time to listen to our first show. The
Yeah.
first rule of Fanboy Fight Club is you must talk about Fanboy Fight Club. We will be live on Twitch every Monday, time pending. We shoot for 9:30, but who knows if we're gonna, get on at 9:30. And if you miss it, the show will be posted on YouTube every Wednesday. Please share your feedback on Twitter at FBFC Podcast. You can also find us on our webpage, fanboyfightclub.com, like us on our Facebook page. Is there anything you guys want to add to that? Anything I messed up?
If you click our photos underneath the video right now, it'll link you to our individual Twitter accounts, and you can follow us there, and then you can talk to us and tweet at us, and we can kind of communicate that way as well.
I warn you, we're probably not nearly as funny on our normal Twitters, though.
I just talk about the Cavs and
I bitch at companies and share my Instagram pictures. That's about it.
that beard though.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to go out here and say, Italian Guile 8, this pretty much all falls on you. You have the sole responsibility as our number one viewer to spread the word out there.
I feel like you just went full Uncle Ben on him.
You get to spread the word outside of our inner circle that already know and ignored us anyway. So
Yeah, all of our friends who didn't even bother tuning in for our first show.
I was assured that many of them will listen and watch the YouTube video, but we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how it
I
goes.
don't have any friends, so should I look there?
They're all in the podcast.
They're all here right
Italian
now.
Guy 08, our podcast is resting on your shoulders. So,
Oh, man.
so please, for anybody listening, more Italian Guy 08 and anybody who listens on the YouTube channel, please join us again next week. We're going to be battling over VR, the future of gaming, or a passing fad. So
Also,
thank you.
feel free to tweet at us or write on our Facebook page or even comment on the YouTube video about topics that you think we should go over. If you think that you can get us riled up over something, PC Master Race or something else if you want. I know that'll be a good one day. Just anything that you guys think might be a good
I was
starting
told
off
no
point,
about
let
that
us
because
know.
we pissed off too many people and they got butthurt when it was a fucking 4-on rape fest with us 4 against you.
We'll wait till we're a little bit more.
Yes, I'll
popular
rape
before we
all of you.
alienate people. So, but all right, guys. Well, until next week. Thank you for joining us, and we'll meet again next week.
And remember, your dick will get hard when you die.
Yeah.
Zombie boners.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
It's being movie now.
Rigor mortis sets in.